Hi, it's Double1975, and today I'm bringing you a longer video than normal and a more complex video than normal. So hopefully you like that. If you do, leave a comment down below and maybe give it a like to encourage me to actually put in some more work to my videos. This one has a lot more elements than I normally use, trust me. So, Friday. What I got up to in Elite Dangerous on Friday? Well, I did a bit of everything. I went to work, I got up at 5 AM, walked the dog, then went to work, then got home from work after a long shift, switched the game on and thought, you know what, I'll do a couple of runs at the CG, and I thought, what ship should I use? I'll use my Type 6. My weaponless Type 6 with very weak shields. I'll be fine. It's only the CG, it's not very busy. And I admit, you know, I was on like around 7 at night doing the CG in a Type 6, and there wasn't that many ships around, and really only at the stations was there any risk. There was more ships in Lave than there was at the CG end, which was hilarious. And one person paid attention to me, and that was a Corvette near the station. He paid attention to me until I did my party trick of 560 meter per second Type 6, and then he soon lost interest as I pulled away and jumped out. Then I had to go and do some stuff at the rescue. I was out helping Helen put the birds away, so I was down the rescue. I don't know, it was about an hour and a half, maybe an hour and 40 minutes, I'm not sure. But then I got home and I went pirating at the CG. Now, while I say I tried to go pirating at the CG, because IED actually did their job and really put a spanner in my work stopping me pirate. Garrax must have interdicted me about 8 or 9 times. He was very, very persistent and adamant that he wanted to stop me, which kind of led to this.
The queue behind the gun side.
I must admit I was surprised to get a wing invite from TOC, who were already in the process of attacking Garrax, and I was quite happy to join in. TOC were using dirty scumbag tactics and even had Healy beams on the go, which is something I very much frown upon. But when it's against Garrax, I'm not going to turn down the fact that I can ram him and then have my shields recharged. And also, when I'm in my pirate cutter, I'm not going to moan too much because I don't have any shield cell banks. And being able to use my cutter to ram Garrax is a fun thing to be doing. I just jumped in and, you know, had a bit of fun shooting Garrax. Garrax left. He sent a message saying something about desperate, and I'm not sure what he meant. Considering we killed him, like, very, very recently, I don't think the Dark Marauders, I don't know if that was directed at me or directed at TOC, I'm not sure. But, you know, I don't think anyone's really desperate for kills on Garrax because it kind of happens frequently. But, you know, I love Garrax as my nemesis. He's great value for money and great fun. And GG's to Garrax. I got no malice towards the dude in real life. It is all just purely in-game fun. He is, yeah, he's properly hilarious as my nemesis. It's good RP. And, you know, I picked him for a reason because, you know, he doesn't seem to take the blame Garrax stuff too badly. Though I'm not sure who the message is aimed at, to be honest. I managed to then wing up with Baron Greenback of a dirty, dirty Fed faction. But they are allies of the Dark Marauders. So there I am, allied with a Fed. But that Baron was having real connection issues with us and kept dropping out of wing. So Modern had also joined me. And Garrax was still persisting in interdicting me. Which I gotta say is, he's doing his job because I'm trying to pirate and he's trying to stop me pirate. Just wish he'd go do his job and try and stop the griefers first before the pirates. But, you know, he knows I'm a very relatively easy target in this cutter because it's not a PvP ship. It's got it's got a size 4 FSD booster on it. It's got a massive fuel scoop on it. It's got 256 cargo, limpets, manifest scanner, wake scanner. You know, the full shebang. It's a pirate ship. I'm not looking to fight anyone in this and not have any protracted fights. So when he interdicted me this time, I just decided to like go with the, you know, you have no cargo, you're free to go and jump out. Just to sort of say, I don't know what he's expecting me to do. So Garrax was happily interdicting me. I think he interdicted me like 10 times. It was seriously like every time I had a super cruise, he interdicted me. So my attempts to pirate were getting frustrated by IED. Luckily for me, while I'm over here getting distractedly attacked by IED, what they don't realise is there was loads of Dark Marauders over in Lave pirating away. So, yeah, as a group, the Dark Marauders got plenty of piracy done, even though I spent my night basically running from Garrax or making Garrax run, one or the other. Here he drops in on me, and this time Modern comes in and joins me. I spend most of the fight trying to force invites through to Baron, who's still having issues. There were a few connection issues for a few people. Luckily, I mean, I was in and out of fights all night long, and I didn't actually have any issues. I didn't crash once. I didn't have any problems. I had a little bit of lag in some of the fights. You'll see like things just judder a little bit, but overall it was pretty reasonable. And most of the guys I was fighting with, after we got Baron sorted out and we actually managed to get him in a wing and get him sorted, it seemed to be okay with him. But the TOC lot, none of them complained about anything other than lag. So there weren't really the connection issues and the disconnects. People weren't like, you know, being purple pythoned or orange sidewinders every 5 seconds like you can sometimes get. Now, most of this fight is basically me running away or trying to be a distraction, because I have no shield cell banks on this thing. I have a massive amount of cargo space. It's not a combat ship, and Garrax persists on attacking me and was like, he's just sending messages saying Chicken Boy needs help, and it's like, well, yeah, of course I do. You're in a Corvette, I'm in a pirate ship. As you can see there, I'm scrolling through my stuff. Nothing. You can like look at that video and pause it, and like you see, no banks, 256 tons of cargo racks, you know. And here I am, sort of just trying to do stuff, trying to force invites through to Baron, trying to message Baron, stuff like that, rather than worrying about Garrax, because Garrax is already getting enough attention off Modern Heracles to keep him busy. And as you can see, he's typing messages, and I'm like, I don't mind. I do need help. Yeah, I definitely need help, and let's see why. Look, you know, you can look at my stuff, you can look at my stats. My ship cannot fight that ship. There's just no way. But can I, you know, be craven enough to stick around in the fight long enough and annoy him enough and then make him wake out? Yeah, I can do that. Because the thing is, I'm not looking to kill him in PvP in this ship versus that ship. I'm not looking to do anything else. I just want to get back up and pirate. You know, it was Heracles that actually wanted to like have a fight with him, so I'm letting him do that, and I'm just occasionally winging in behind massive barrages of pack hounds, which is quite funny. And here I am again trying to force an invite through to Baron, who's having so many issues, and he's in the party chat going, give me an invite, give me an invite, get me in there, my Conda, I can get in there. So yeah, Baron was unfortunately unable to get in on this fight. His extra damage and DPS may have made Garrax panic a little bit. Garrax was using an interesting Corvette build with mine laying. So he had the shield disrupting mines. However, we did notice that he ran into his own mines a few times, and then they stopped appearing so much. So I'm not sure that experiment worked for him. I know he runs mine laying on his Mamba to some effect. But generally the only time I see people's shields go down is when they're eagerly chasing him when his shields have gone down to try and get the final shot on him to kill him. The other night when we killed him, I know somebody in the chasing pack lost their shields, but by then Bloodlust has taken over and people aren't avoiding mines anymore, and they're not worried about their shields, especially when the only person like in the instance is being chased by like a horde of angry pirates. So all in all, I had a couple of fun engagements with Garrax and a few conversations backwards and forwards and a bit of fun. All good roleplay stuff, all good fun. Now, at the end of this fight, Garrax sends me by MATEY, which is odd. People don't tend to use that name for me. My name is Matthew. There's only 3 people I'm aware of that ever call me MATEY, and that's my missus, her sister, and her mother. So I didn't know one of them was playing the game. I presume from the fact of the hatred it's probably her mother. So that adds a new level to the dynamic. I didn't realise that my missus's mother was playing this game and was called Garrax, but hey, you learn something new every day. He certainly got it right, because none of my actual friends call me that. Like I say, it's only my other half's family that ever call me that. So bit of an odd choice. I take it he's been on Big Red Rooster Rescue's Facebook page or something, which there's a link to on my channel page if you want to go and check it out. Now, as to the next thing that happened, I ended up switching to an FDL, coming back looking for Garrax, couldn't find him. Did find a wing of ESR and TF13, and when we first engaged them we got chased out, which is not a surprise. They outnumbered us, and those guys pack a punch. A few of them are known to use Primo, and they were led by, or this guy was involved, which I was interested to see that he didn't have any tags at the moment. So I don't know if he's trying to worm his way into TF13, but he's no longer the leader of ESR, which is interesting. But we've had issues with this guy in the past, and Baron wanted to try and get a wing together to go and attack and fight them. This led to a discussion, and Baron was keen to try and galvanize the party that we were in into a cohesive fighting unit. I've got to say fair play to him, because from where I was sitting with my mic muted while I was laughing, it looked like this.
Herding cats. Don't let anybody tell you it's easy.
But somehow and some way, Baron managed to convince enough of TOC to form a cohesive wing with the Dark Marauders and FedEx and go and attack the combined wing of ESR and TF13 along with Drugs Bunny. And it was a proper good fight. GG's to all involved, especially mention to Flipper Gold, who is always a worthy adversary and a very good pilot. Flies evasive very, very well. Such a squirrely fucker, it's really hard to shoot him. He's way better pilot than me. I always appreciate being outflown and battered by better commanders, and so I really enjoyed that. But on the whole, it was a really good fight and really good fun. There was a moment when I was like, oh yeah, that's Flipper behind me, isn't it? Because my shield's just going smack, smack from his plasmax. I really had a fun day. This day was just awesome all round. It's amazing to have CGs back. It's awesome to have TOC back. It's so nice to have proper griefers within the game, because people kept saying that the Dark Marauders were griefers, and I was like, really? You think we're griefers? Have you not met TOC? So I'm very, very glad that TOC are back, teaching people to submit to chaos, causing havoc and having fun, being very drunk on a Friday night playing Elite Dangerous. It's kind of TOC's natural home. I'm switching now to Baron Greenback's view. I think Baron deserves the credit for this kill, because this kill wouldn't have happened if he hadn't done the cat herding to get this motley crew of pirates and griefers to fight together to actually take down a common foe. He's got to take some credit for that. That's fairly good persuasive powers, and just general bullheaded stubbornness, I think, was what won through the day. I have got a feeling that Baron really likes flying alongside my Beam Gallant though, because I shred shields, he shreds modules, and that's all to the good. It works out quite nicely in tandem. Yeah, I do love flying my Beam Gallant, my little glass cannon. But fair play to Baron, and this was the only kill of the fight, but the fight went on long after this kill. People were jumping in and out, and there was a lot going on. And I've got to explain something to Flipper Gold, because so after I jumped out the first time, I came back and to join back up with Baron, and when I did, it was me and Baron versus 2 FDLs, and then Baron told me that he'd run out of ammo. So he was like jumping out, and I was like, oh, I don't really fancy trying to hold the instance open against 2 of these TF13 FDLs, because I was just going to get shredded. And then at that point, my TOC relief force that was arriving had instead got distracted, which is not uncommon, by a solo IED commander at the start. And because they were still in my wing, I immediately navlocked them, low waked on Flipper, dropped in on that fight instead. Because let's face it, fighting 2 TF13 FDLs or 1 FDL for IED, I'm always going to pick the IED guy. In fact, I think the last time Flipper attacked me was when I was busy targeting an IED guy. He came in and tore my shields down really quickly from behind. So yeah, I'm sorry, but I will always choose to fight IED over everyone else. If there's IED in the instance, I'm shooting IED. Even though that zeroed in kind of thing where I always focus on IED has got me into trouble before, where other people have dropped in behind and nearly killed me, you know, it's a good rule of thumb. If IED are in the instance, shoot them, then worry about everyone else. And if you're winged up with TOC, always keep an eye on your rear view mirror, because you never know. There's always going to be time to submit to chaos. They are like the totally and utterly chaotic neutral mentals. Just love it. I honestly cannot understand why more people don't play this game, because there isn't any other game like it when you can have this much range of activity on a Friday night. The open space is currently quite vibrant and alive. It's nice for community goals, bringing all the players together. There's always fun, and a lot of the time all the PvPers and griefers are actually just fighting each other. So at this point it was pretty safe to get in and out of the station doing the CG, because most of the bad guys are in here shooting each other. So, you know, it made the CG a very safe place for a while. But just the range of activities, like I go from space trucking piracy to PvP in the space of an evening. I can switch gears and play different game modes depending on how I feel, how tired I am, what I can cope with mentally, how busy the party chat is. And it was really funny because out of 3 hours of footage I can barely bring you any party chat, you know, without risk of demonetization and banning from YouTube. But I can bring you this snippet because when they were fighting, it quietened them up a lot.
If you can, I can heal you with my hippie beams if you fucking send me a wing.
Taking damage. Shields offline.
Yeah, get out. My bolt lead.
Heat sink deployed. Frameshift drive charging.
Switch over to your flipper. Oh no, you're in the beam to lance.
So I'm going to end it now with the footage I alluded to, which is me jumping in on the IED guy to finish, which, you know, I've got to say is another good example of the beam to lance melting someone. I love this shit. But I've got to say I was kind of disappointed I didn't get back on, but I was so damn tired, and by the time I dropped off and like did a few things, walked the dog, etc., it was very late, and I was like, you know what, I've been up since 5, I'm exhausted. What a good day, what a fun evening's entertainment. I do love Elite Dangerous for the fact that there's so many things you can do, there's so many different play styles that it caters to, there's so many things you can be getting on with. You know, while I'm out PvPing, surrounded by griefers and fun and silliness and shenanigans, there are people just sat in asteroid fields mining, there's people out in deep space exploring. This game caters to a lot of people's playstyles, a lot of people's tastes. You know, if you don't want the interaction, you can quite happily play this game in solo and be perfectly safe from the nutters that I'm with. You know, it suits so many different playstyles. It's a great way to unwind, just a few missions, running a bit of cargo, just bobbling about in space, enjoying the fun of a space sim. Or you can engage in the excitement and stupidity of dogfights with silly people. But anyway, that's all for this video. Hope you enjoyed it. Thank you very much for watching.